morning. Happy Monday. I just realized as I'm going live that today is Metal Monday. Have you heard of this? I just heard of it recently. Metal Monday, as in metals, right? And I meant to have my 3 medals from. Oh wait, I do have them. Yes, I have my 3 medals from Alabama. The run from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. Here we go. So you saw the first 2, and now I got a third because my team placed. So look at this swag. I remember when I first started running, and one of the guys at Black Men Run was like, "You're gonna end up looking like Mr. T," and I was like, "Nah, never." And look at me, look at all this. So this is Metal Monday. I have to take a photo later. Anyway, I got distracted. Sorry about that. Clearly, I need a stand for the medals now. That's a milestone that I now need a stand for the medals. Wow. All right, back on track. Happy Monday. This is, what day is this? This is the 28th day of March. This is the 61st episode of season 3 of the Be Your Own Hero show. HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. And this is all a part of what we're now calling the Hero Ministry Movement, which is soon to be a nonprofit, knock on wood. That this is my effort to uplift and inspire people, in particular the unhoused community. Shout out for this platform on New Thought Media Network. They've been great to me and allowing me this space to talk about my journey of becoming my own hero. And it's been quite a journey, and it continues now as I talk about my journey of becoming my own financial hero. So, and you can also donate to them. New Thought Media, I haven't said this in a while, so New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit. You can make a tax-deductible donation to them at ntmedia.org, so check them out. All right, so if this show provides any value, please like, please comment, most of all, please share so that we can expand the circle of the show. And quick disclaimer, I'm not a personal trainer and I'm not a financial advisor, so take what I say with a grain of salt. Okay, so I'm going to circle back to Hero Ministry News right where I began. Today's Metal Monday, MEDAL Monday, and I got to go outside and take a picture with all my medals. I wonder how many I have now, but 3 is a boom. And just a quick sidebar, I'm allowing myself one sidebar. So I got the first 2 medals for the 51-mile race from Selma to Montgomery at the end of the race, because at the finish line, they've got these stands with the medals. And there was a little bit of a ceremony too. Like someone actually put the medal over my neck. It's not like they just handed it to me. So that was pretty cool. And then later on social media, I saw my teammates posing with a 3rd medal. And I was like, hey, what's up with that? And so the way that I was able to get that 3rd medal, because I don't know if you remember this, but I substituted in for someone. I wasn't even there to run. I was there to help with transportation needs. And I substituted in for someone who was sick and couldn't make it. So I had to reimburse him for the registration fee, and then I got my 3rd medal. And I think that's part of the story, because being able to be, the fact that I was there already or going there already is number one. The fact that I was able to substitute in without any doubt about, oh, can I do this? And then 3rd, the abundance to be able to say, yeah, whatever amount you pay to be a part of this, I can reimburse you for it. Like that's all abundance, all of it. All those things are abundance. And that's what we're talking about on the show. And so it speaks to our manifestation about being a multimillionaire in all areas of your life. Abundance can manifest in many different ways, many different aspects of your life. Okay, so that was my sidebar. Maybe there'll be only one sidebar today. All right, so Hero Ministry Movement News. Over the weekend was the big day. I hit my 300th day doing my run streak, so fireworks for that. Yeah, I'm very excited. I was very excited then, and I'm still very excited now. You can see me all over social media talking about my 300th day. Just a reminder, my original goal was to run 30 miles in 30 days, meaning 1 mile per day for 30 days. That was my original goal, 30 days. And now I'm on day 301. Today is day 301. Yesterday was day 300. And the day before that, obviously, 299. On day 299, I ran with the Fleet Feet half marathon and full marathon training program. And so we did 9 miles. I'm in the half marathon training group. So we ran 9 miles on Saturday. And then Sunday was the big 300. And check out the run report for yesterday for day 300. It was pretty good because I wanted to make it symbolic. And so since it was my 300th day, I wanted to run exactly 3 miles. So it's just the moving of the decimal point, right? 300, moving the decimal point over is 3 miles. Not 3.1, which is a 5K, but exactly 3 miles, just to have a mirror. And so my goal was to run a 9-minute mile consecutively for 3 miles, 3 9-minute miles. And I felt like that was a stretch. Nope, wasn't a stretch. I blew past that. I ran 7:41, so 7 minutes, 41 seconds, average for 3 miles. So again, it really speaks to the limits of your belief box. We keep building these belief boxes. Like I've been doing this now for literally 301 days, 301 consecutive days. And yesterday I thought, I'm gonna try to get a 9-minute mile. My body was like, we've been past that, bro. We're gonna do a 7:41. And so even in the midst of all this work, I am still like rubbing up against the edges of my belief box where I've set limits on myself that don't match. And so if I'm doing that and I'm in the middle of running every day for 301 days in a row, imagine how your belief box is limiting you without you even noticing it. The only reason I'm noticing it is because I keep pushing up against it. Otherwise, I'd be walking around saying, if I push, I can get about a 9-minute mile. That was my belief early in the morning yesterday. That was my belief. And then that got exploded out the water. And then yesterday, this is another sidebar. Sorry about it. All right. Then yesterday, I went through all of my previous runs on the app, on the Strava app. And I saw that a 9-minute mile is nothing to me. Like, even though I think of a 9-minute mile as a milestone, I hit 9s all the time. That's like my baseline. I think of my baseline as 10, a 10-minute mile. Apparently not. According to the stats, that is not my baseline. According to the stats on the app, my baseline is around 9. And if I push, obviously I can get a 7. So I know all of that is specific to me, but the point is it applies to you too. Your mind is constantly building these small belief boxes like Legos all around you. And you don't notice them unless you rub up against the edge, unless you push against them. So in all areas where you think, I'm about this, or I do about that, disregard your thoughts about it and just push for more and see what happens. Because you'll be surprised. You'll shock yourself. I have shocked myself. I've shocked myself by getting this far, by doing this much, by getting so much faster. Like, you'll shock yourself, trust me. So sometime this week, start pushing against your belief box and you can see what I mean. All right, that was a lot of sidebars. I gotta pick up the pace for the rest of the show. Anyway, today is day 301. Please check out the run report for day 300. Maybe I'll play it tomorrow. It's, for me, the most significant day. I felt like running yesterday. So that brings me up to about 7 days of my 301 that I felt like running. Because I felt like it yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna do something. And I'm sure I'm gonna feel like running on day 365. So that'll be day 8. All the rest of the days, I just have to push through. Just push through my feelings of not wanting to do it. And that is a consistent lesson of this run streak. Okay, so moving on. Envelope challenge. We're going to skip to the envelope challenge because I gotta pick up the pace. So here we go. Envelope challenge. We're rolling the dice. Number 6, big number. Well, big for a dice. It's the highest number on a die, but it's not a big number. $6. You're going to transfer $6 from your checking account over to your shiny new savings account, and that bucket of money is being used to invest, specifically to invest. So if this is your first time hearing me talk about it, I got an envelope challenge from, I remixed it from the way I heard about it. The way I heard about it is it's a physical thing with actual dollars, but I remixed it to make it cyber online and using dice. So you transfer $6 into a new account. That new account, you let it build to a certain amount, whatever amount you choose, let's say $100, and then you invest it. And then you do it again and invest it again, do it again, invest it again. Because the number one reason people don't invest is they think that they don't have the money to invest, right? So this is really a mindset exercise, showing yourself that you do have the money and the wherewithal to invest. And so if you out there are thinking currently, in real time, I don't have enough money to invest, then you need to be doing this envelope challenge with me. Do it. Create your little bucket of money to invest. So today, $6. Transfer $6 from your checking over to your savings. When you reach your number, whatever your number is, invest it. Okay? All right. Because I'm going to skip right to it now. If you only spend, you'll stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. In order to become wealthy, you must invest. So think of it as a glass ceiling. If you want to get past that glass ceiling and move into another echelon of financial abundance, then you've got to start investing. And if you're thinking, oh, I don't have enough money to invest, do the envelope challenge to give yourself money to invest. All right, I'm off my soapbox. All right, so Morning Zen comes to us from Reverend Melissa. Hopefully you saw her sermon at Rockland County CSL over the weekend. She did this forgiveness exercise that I won't be able to do justice, but I just want to summarize what it was for me. So she gave this quote that really was impactful for me. She said, forgiveness is not condoning. Forgiveness is not condoning. Now I'm making faces because that really resonated with me. Because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes I get stuck in this feeling like I'm letting somebody off the hook. But you're not letting them off the hook. Forgiveness is for you, and it's not condoning what they did. It's just you've got to let them off the hook for you, or you've got to let it go for you. And it reminds me of what I read in The Four Agreements. If you haven't checked that book out, definitely check it out. In The Four Agreements, it talks about being offered poison. Like when somebody is negative towards you, they're offering you poison. And also, when you're thinking negatively about someone else, you're sipping poison, hoping it will bother them, it will impair them in some way, which obviously is impossible. So there's this whole element of poison and how you're using poison against yourself, even though you're thinking negatively about someone else. So essentially, you've got to clear your mind out for you, for your best benefit. It's not about condoning what they did. It's about you being pure of mind, of body, and of spirit. And you having the right energy, the right aura around yourself. And this all ties into abundance, because you can't have abundance. Ooh, there's this quote. It's kind of like, I can't quite get it, but it's like, abundance doesn't like tempestuous places. It was a quote from an old book, so it's hence the word tempestuous. But basically, abundance doesn't want to be in a place where there's drama. Using my current metaphor, where there's poison. It wants to be in a comfortable space. So you've got to create a comfortable space within you to allow abundance to manifest and inhabit your world, your life. And this reminds me of something else. I'm on. This is a sidebar day for sure, but this reminds me of something else. So when I was in high school, I decided I was going to figure out this money thing. And I remember I went to the library and I pulled out a bunch of books about money off the shelf, and I don't remember the names of them now. And I did this for at least 2 or 3 days in a row. And then I gave up. And the reason I gave up was because each of those books was talking about mindset. I didn't even know to call it mindset then, but it was talking about how you think. And I was like, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that tells me how to make money, not how to think. And so I gave up. And here we are all these years later, and I'm seeing all the same information. Like, it's all about, it starts with how you think. And that creates the space for abundance in other aspects of your life. And then when you create the space for abundance, then the physical abundance pours into it. But it starts here first. It starts in the mind first. So full circle moment for me, thinking about how forgiveness is related to abundance, how thinking positively is related to abundance, how maintaining an equilibrium of positivity is about abundance. It's all the same thing. Okay, so all that was a good segue to the affirmation. So let's get to the affirmation and do that. It's been a while. So here's the affirmation. Here we go. I'm so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. So that time we just did it for the words. Now let's do it again to add feeling, because the feeling tone is what makes it work. So once again, with feeling, I'm so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Ashe. Ashe. And I already did the reminder about being poor, being middle class, and being wealthy. Just again, you must invest. Wealth comes from investing. Okay, so over the weekend, I asked you to think about what's holding you back, right? And the answer, I don't know if you did the homework or not, if you thought about it or not, but the answer is mindset, because it's always the answer. The answer is always mindset. It's how you think about wealth, how you think about abundance, what beliefs you inherited about money in your early years, in your formative years, what beliefs you ingested from the world around you. Maybe not even things that were said to you overtly, but feelings you picked up on about wealth and abundance and how money is handled. But remember, I was reading and telling you about The Psychology of Money. It's another really good book, but it talks about how money is presented as a math situation, but it's actually an emotional situation. It's about how we feel about money that determines what we do with money. And so you've got to change that feeling if you want to change what you do with money. And I've already told you my high school story and how that's come full circle now. And I understand that it's all about the thinking first. It's all about the mindset first, and that changes everything else. So I discovered another podcast recently. It's about options trading, which is different from stock trading. Like, it's related to stock trading, but in order to do options trading, you have to have at least 100 shares of a stock. So it's like, here's stock trading and here's options trading, because we've been talking about buying and holding stock, right, for the long term. But I've talked to you a little bit about my journey, my very short journey so far of trading, and how that's opened my eyes. And then apparently there are all these other levels. There's all these other levels to this. One of those levels is options trading, where you buy 100 shares of a stock and then you trade that block in the stock market. So I'm still trying to understand how that works. But the point is, the podcast talks almost exclusively about mindset in the very beginning. In other words, the person who does the podcast is saying, let's not even talk about the stocks. Let's not even talk about the options. Let's talk about mindset. You've got to change your mindset and delete those old beliefs. And things like money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. All these little phrases that we might have grown up with, hearing from people in our world or just around us. And and I actually got this from a different podcast, but this really struck me because they were talking about these phrases and they were like, doesn't money grow on trees? That's what they were saying to each other, is these two hosts, and they talk to each other. And they're like, but money does grow on trees. And I thought about it and I was like, oh yeah, like during the pandemic, didn't they just start printing money? Like they just made money. They literally just printed it and made money. So like it really is something that just can be produced, right? Obviously it's produced in certain places, but the idea that somebody can just hit a button, all of a sudden there's all this extra money that can be distributed to the masses via stimulus checks really shows you that it's really about how you think about it. It's really about how you think about it. And as I say that, this is a sidebar bag, sorry, but that reminds me about scarcity, because some of you know that I do jewelry, not on the level that Gladys Williams does jewelry, but I do jewelry. And I've learned a little bit about scarcity and demand through that endeavor. And one thing I can say for sure is, like, when you have like a limited amount of a certain material, a certain gemstone, let's say, and then if all of a sudden there was a lot more of that gemstone found, it would dilute the value of that gemstone. Like it would be less, it would be worth less. So same thing is happening with money, because they printed so much money that devalues the dollar a little bit, maybe a lot, but definitely devalues the dollar, which I'm seeing slightly in the Forex market. Forex is foreign exchange. It's just an acronym for foreign exchange. And that's the exchange of currencies, buying and selling currencies, like the US dollar versus the British pound, or the British pound versus the Japanese yen, like that. So I am just barely learning about that. But again, I'm interested in the fact that trading financial instruments like foreign exchange, like options, like stocks, seems to be the way to acquire wealth much more quickly than buying and holding stocks. Now, we've already learned that buying and holding stocks works as long as you do it on a timeline. Like it takes longer than we think. Like I got a text from my brother over the weekend asking me when one of the stocks that we own is going to stop tanking. And so my response was, it's good news that it's tanking. That means it's on sale, quote unquote. We need to buy more. We need to double down, because on a long-term continuum, it's going to do well. So that particular stock 5 years ago, no, let me say it a different way. From 5 years ago till now, it went up 70%. 70%. Now think about your interest on your whatever you have, your mutual fund, your savings account, whatever financial instruments you currently have. Are you getting 70%? No, you're not. 70% is a significant jump, right? But it took 5 years for it to go up 70%. So he was worried about the fluctuations that are happening right now on the daily, on the weekly, on the monthly. And I was telling him, don't worry about that. We're worried about the fluctuations that happen on a 5-year scale, 3 to 5 years. So, my alarm's going off already. It's because of all the sidebars. Sorry. So let me finish this point. So if you think about buying and holding stock on a continuum, on a long range continuum, 3 to 5 years, then not only will that keep you from worrying about the daily fluctuations, but all things being equal, if you're buying stocks that are components of the S&P 500 or the Dow, then all things being equal, they're going to go up. And so I was telling him that I'm hoping that we will reap another 70% over the next 3 to 5 years. And that remains to be seen. But I'm optimistic that these stocks will continue to go up. Oh, I haven't said what the stock is. It's Facebook. So it's one of the FANG stocks. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. I have extreme faith in them. Oh, and there was an article that came out maybe a week ago about the FANG stocks. And if they actually put it in the article as FANG, F-A-A-N-G, this is a thing that was not created by Sekou. This is a Wall Street thing, these 5 stocks. So they were saying, buy the FANG stocks while they're on sale. And I was like, who's been saying that? Who's been saying that on this show? So I feel like I'm getting the hang of this now. So when the FANG stocks are down because of whatever's going on in the world right now, that's the Ukraine, buy FANG stocks or buy the S&P 500, which includes all 5 of the FANG stocks. And don't worry about what's happening in the day-to-day fluctuations because you're on a long-term play. You're thinking 3 to 5 years. That's the buy and hold. For trading, that's a whole other animal. And the reason that I've been interested in trading is because I told you on this show that my very first trade, I traded a $4 stock and I got 25 cents. So in other words, I got it for $4, I sold it for $4.25. And for the next couple of days, I was like, why is that? Aside from being excited that it was easy, much easier than I expected, why is it still sticking in my head? It is because of the percentage. When I finally did the math, 25 cents is like 6% of $4. 6%. Once again, what financial instruments are you getting 6% on? And I got that in one day, one trade, 6%. So there's something happening there. That seems to be the trading space. And I've talked about on the show that I was afraid of it. But the trading space seems to be the space where rapid accumulation of wealth can happen. That said, buy and hold for certain stocks, the stocks that are in the S&P 500, works really well. Buy while they're down, hold. Don't think about the daily fluctuations. Think, all right, I got a full share on April 1st of whatever year, and I'm going to look again to see where it is 3 to 5 years from now. Just think about it that way. Or even that I'm just buying this share and I know that I'm going to give it to my kids or my grandkids. Like, it will perform better over time. Okay, so those are kind of the things I wanted to talk about today. I really wanted to talk about the how-to guide, but I burned up my time with all these sidebars. So I'll talk about the how-to guide tomorrow. And just a reminder of what I was just saying, that as we learn about the stock market, we're learning to divorce ourselves from how we thought it worked. Because what I'm finding for myself and for people around me is that we think it works much faster than it does. We think it's like instant. Like someone that I gave some stock suggestions to hit me up a month later and was like, how come nothing's happening? No, it doesn't work fast like that. It works on a continuum in terms of years, at least if you're doing the buy and hold strategy. So circling back, if you want to buy and hold, you're talking about the index funds like S&P 500 or components of the index of the S&P 500. Those 500 stocks are pretty safe and secure. And you're talking about acquiring them while they're on sale and then holding them for 3 to 5 years. All right, so that's what my brother and I were talking about this weekend. I hope that was helpful to you. And tomorrow we're going to circle back to the how-to guide. So stay tuned for prayer time now at 10:15. And I see that there's a few comments. I'll check the comments right after the show. And also stay tuned for Sit with Reverend Melissa at 10:30. I'll be producing that show, and I might pop in to say a word or two. So until then, keep doing, be your own financial hero, and remember that now is better than perfect in terms of investing. Invest. Don't wait. Invest. And if you're waiting, use the envelope challenge to get yourself some money so that you can invest right now. All right. I'll see you tomorrow. Later.